The government is about to make an important financial move with an initial public offer for Kenya Pipeline Company on the Nairobi Securities Exchange before the end of 2025 to raise approximately 100 billion Kenya shillings. So, what's an initial public offer, or in short, IPO? In this episode, we break down how it works and how you can turn this into an investment opportunity.
Also, today on Mint, think twice, a different way to sell mitumba. Building for the future, how to make your home adaptable, sustainable, and relevant for years to come. Lights, camera, action, how your TV stars come to be.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest. Earn it, spend it, save, invest. Mola, kila siku nikucheza mola, make more bila stress. Mola, kila siku sikuweza mola, make more bila stress.
This week, on Money Moves, we look into what an initial public offer is. Find out how listing the Kenya Pipeline Company on the Nairobi Securities Exchange is expected to boost investor confidence and provide opportunities for Kenyans.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
In case you missed it, the Kenyan government is about to drop a big money move with an initial public offering for Kenya Pipeline Company on the Nairobi Securities Exchange before the close of 2025 to raise approximately 100 billion shillings. So, what's an initial public offer, or in short, IPO? Think of it like this. It is the first time a company says, "Hey everyone, want a piece of us?" and sells shares to the public. The plan here is for the government to sell up to 65% of KPC to private investors. The money raised will then help public services, infrastructure, and hopefully reduce borrowing. The IPO is part of a broader privatization strategy supported by the Privatization Act 2023, and it's supposed to give Kenyans like you and I a chance to own a piece of one of the country's most strategic companies. This move is expected to boost investor confidence and provide opportunities for Kenyans to own shares in the strategic infrastructure company. Interesting, right? Now, if you're wondering what this could look like, let's take a trip down memory lane to the Safaricom IPO back in 2008. People literally lined up in the streets to open stock trading accounts. The IPO was so hyped that it attracted over 800,000 investors. Pricing for the IPO in March 2008 was set at 5 shillings for each of the 10 billion shares on offer, giving Safaricom a market value of 200 billion shillings. But here's the twist. While everyone expected the shares to triple overnight, they dipped. The share traded between 6 and 8 shillings in the first week before dropping to 3 shillings in October. Some panicked and sold their shares at a loss, but for those who stayed patient, in June this year, Safaricom's valuation at the NSE crossed the psychological barrier of the 1 trillion shilling mark, after its share price traded at 25 shillings. This teaches everyone an important lesson. Investing isn't about overnight success, it's about playing the long game. We can go on and on about how investment decisions need patience and balanced risk. But let's look at how you can approach the KPC IPO. Do your homework. Don't just follow the hype. Look into KPC's numbers, their profits, assets, debt, and cash flows. Understand the industry. Get a feel of the oil and energy sector in Kenya and East Africa. What are the trends? Know the risks. Every investment has risks. Be sure you understand what you are getting into. Get the details. When the IPO details are released, check the fine print on things like the share price and how many shares are available. Have a game plan. Decide on your investment approach. Are you in for the long term or looking for a quick return? Talk to an expert. Before you commit, consider getting advice from a financial advisor. It is always a smart move. Bottom line, the KPC IPO is a huge chance, but it is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Be smart, be patient, and invest wisely. Happy investing!
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
Owning a home is often the biggest investment you'll ever make. However, as technology advances, lifestyles change, and environmental challenges grow, the houses we live in today may not meet the needs of tomorrow. For instance, the spiral staircase that is trending might not serve you well in your old age. That's where future-proofing comes in. Future-proofing your home means designing, building, or upgrading it in ways that make it adaptable, sustainable, and relevant for years to come. This doesn't mean building a boring house. It means investing in comfort, sustainability, and financial security.
Homes are constantly evolving. How they are built today is not the same way they were built 50 years ago. Still, the fundamentals of building a home remain the same. A home, like any other investment, should be future-proof. It should be able to stand the test of time and adapt to your changing needs over the years. So, how can you build a future-proof home?
Future-proofing could be depending on where you are, at what stage you are in your life. So for example, if you're a young couple planning to have kids, then future-proofing of your home would look like building a home that is suitable for children, okay? So you definitely look at environments that are suitable for raising a family. If you're a retired couple and are looking to downsize, then again, future-proofing is very different because you'll be looking at a house that basically will make your stay more comfortable. So you don't want to build a house that is 3-4 stories up, because as you age, things like staircases will also pose a challenge in your old age. So whatever it is that you're doing when it comes to design, I believe it should be a hybrid design.
So, what are the key features of a future-proofed home?
Having a ramp at the main access is a big plus, because as mobility becomes a challenge, you want to avoid the stairs, you want to avoid chances of tripping and falling. Making your house accessible via wheelchair is a very big plus. So when you come to the internal layout of the houses, it would be good to have wider corridors, yeah? Like I said, if mobility is a challenge, so for example, if the client is using a walker or a wheelchair, you want to have corridors and walkways where wheelchair access, or when someone is using a walker, then movement and access will not be a challenge. Another very, very important thing that people tend to overlook, as you grow older, chances of slipping and falling are very high. So things like bathtubs are things that you want to avoid. Yeah. So instead have spacious bathroom with that is wheelchair accessible. In the bathrooms, it would be important to have non-slip tiles so that we avoid incidences of slipping and falling and resulting to injury. And also in the kitchen, you might also want to consider having similar tiles.
To build a future-proof home, the materials used are a major factor to look into.
The materials that we recommend for one to use when they're building a future-proof home are materials that have proven the test of time. So like now in our country, we are very big on concrete and masonry. Such kind of materials have been proven to withstand different weather elements and have been proven to actually be very durable. So basically, it just depends with where you are. If you're building in the coastal side, the materials that are recommended there would probably be very different based on the climatic conditions, as opposed to what you would use, for example, in places like Nyahururu or places that are in the Rift Valley where it's actually very cold. Having a full concrete house in an environment where temperatures are actually low, you'll end up with a very cold house. So you need to balance.
As with any good thing that stands the test of time, maintenance is key in future-proofing a home.
A house, like any other thing, needs to be maintained. It's just like a car. You need to take it for regular services, maintenance services, correct? It's the same thing with a house. So if you want your house to be durable and for it to serve you well for many years, you really need to spend a lot of time on maintenance and fixing issues when they arise and not letting them spill over and lead to other issues.
Future-proofing a home isn't a hard task, but there are some mishaps that you should avoid to ensure that you don't have to go back to the drawing board in a few years.
For you to have a successful project or a successful construction, your team, the team that you're working with really, really, really matters. When you have a good team of consultants, that's qualified architect experience and qualified architect, quantity surveyor, electrical and mechanical engineer, and structural engineer. They'll be able to advise you in terms of design, in terms of adaptability of the design that you want. Another thing that we usually do in commercial, a lot of the commercial projects that we're involved in, we subject all the materials to testing. The trend that I've observed in the market is when people are doing their own residential homes, they do not bother to test the quality of steel, the quality of stones that they're using, the quality of cement that they're using. It is very important because we're talking about future-proofing your home. You want to use materials that are durable and that will serve the purpose that they're intended to serve.
Future-proofing your home is not just about preparing for tomorrow. It's about building a home that will accommodate your changing lifestyle while still being perfect.
As years progress, our lifestyles change. So the question you should be asking is the design that I have, is it adaptable as my lifestyle changes? Is it adaptable for my children as their lifestyle changes?
Future-proofing your home will ensure it remains functional, comfortable, valuable, and adaptable to technological advancements and evolving building codes for years to come. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Coming up, think twice, a different way to sell mitumba.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest. Mola, kila siku waste that money.